Good morning, everybody. I wanted to do the video for my first online card class, and the first card we're going to do is this one. Take it out of the paper so you can see it even better. I love this. It's just soft and it would make a really good card for any occasion. So when you get yours, it's going to look like this. These are all the pieces. Mine just has the one. Yours will have two, but I want to show you how it'll be just right from when you get the card kit. So what you're gonna need a sponge for sponging around the image, and that's done in Pool Party. You're going to need Daffodil Delight, terracotta tile, and Old Olive ink for coloring. So I'm going to put these up here where I can get to them. You're going to need your favorite glue. This is my favorite glue. You might use a tape runners, but whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to put these up here out of the way. You are going to need a good light. I brought mine in. If you can tell, I'm going to put some light right here on the card. I hope it doesn't make it too bright that you can't see anything, but you do need it for this card. So you might be wondering what this piece is for. Since we can't send stamped images in the mail, I use it to cover up my stamped image and then sponge around it. And I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to put this right to the side. I hope you can still see it. If you need any of these products, of course, you can head on over to my store. It's www.donnakaufman.stampinup.net. And then the videos, for this one, I'm not going to post the videos because I am doing this as a card class. And of course, I want people to buy my kit. But any of my other videos and different things I post are over at my blog at www.donna-stamps.blogspot.com. And all of these products are from the Ornate Garden Suite, and I will be posting some videos showing you how to use certain parts of the suite, because the borders that come with the suite that I use for this, and then the rectangles, I'll give you some tips to make it a little bit easier for you. So let's get started. Hopefully you have all your supplies gathered and we're ready to go. So when you get it, you just open it up and you'll have your card base. You'll have your gold piece. You'll have your two pieces of designer series paper. One is cut at 2 inches and one is cut at 1 inch. So these just slide under on either side. So pretty. And then your art piece, and this is what you're going to need your good light for. This is stamped with Versamark, and then you use the Whisper White embossing powder. And just, it is hard to see, but once you start coloring it, it pops. It's like magic. I love it. I love this technique. It's white on white. And of course, the paper I'm using is the shimmery white cardstock because it does seem to take the inks well. You could use our watercolor paper as well, but I love a little bit of sparkle, as you know. You're going to need, there's a piece of ribbon for this part, and then you're going to need the piece that goes on the front, the frame. So there's the frame, and this is from our stitched rectangles. I did forget about that one. That's the only one that doesn't come in the Ornate Garden Suite, but if you don't have that, you could just, if you want to make more of these, you could just cut a piece of paper, the shimmery white cardstock. I'm going to put this to the side so I don't make a mess. I'm going to open up my ink pads. You are going to need your aqua painter. I can't find my Stampin' Up one. I'm just going to wait and order one out of the new catalog because they have been redesigned. So I want the new one. It needs a fairly sharp tip on it so you can color everything really well. And you can go directly from the ink pad, or you can use the lid of the ink pad. So I had this, of course, set the right way, and then I moved it. So what you want to do is you want to take this piece and you want to cover up your image. So then you want to take your sponge, and I should have this out of here, sorry for the rattling. So you want to take your sponge and you want to dip it in the pool party, and then just hold on to your piece that's covering. And I like the sponge off just so I don't get a big glob. And then if you just go in a circular pattern, it makes it really smooth when you sponge. You know, if you dab at it, it makes it kind of clump up. So just go around, just in circles. And what you want to do is you just want to get a light halo so it makes the colors pop in the flower. Turn this around so you can see even better. So just go around and around, sponge it. And then you just see what you think. Kind of looks like the sky too. You want it darker, you can just come back in and sponge some more, but I'm happy with how that turned out. So then I always have a piece of paper towel, tissue, whatever, because sometimes your well, you need to change colors and you'll need something to wipe off in between. And then you want to make sure how much water you're getting out. You don't want it, you know, really heavy. You can always add color, but you don't want to saturate your paper. So this is the Daffodil Delight. And I just come in and I pick up a little bit of ink. And like I said, I don't know if you can see this or not, I'm going to pull this down a little bit, pull this down a little bit, and pull my inks down so you can see what I'm doing. I'll put this out of the way. So hopefully you can see all these. If you want to, you could use stamp spots. It would take up less room on your table. But I had my ink pads out, so I thought I'd use them. So you just come in and you decide which flowers you want to color. Of course, I have my paper upside down. You might want to turn that so you can see it better. So I just start from the center and make it darker in the center, and then just pull the color out. So then you just come in and you add some more. This is fun to color. It just is. I told my husband I feel like Bob Ross when I'm coloring. I think the color will live here. And if you want to, in the center, you could actually bring in another color, maybe the early espresso, because daisies do have the brown. I don't have that on the table with me, but you could certainly do that. Do some black. I wonder what it would look like. We'll try it. This is just an experiment. Bring a little bit of the black in. Not bad. I think I would rather have the brown though, so I'll find my early espresso and go over that. But this is just to show you what it would look like if you pop a little color in the center. It does make the color even better. So just grab some more of your Daffodil Delight and color your daisies. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just however you, if you want them darker, lighter, if you want them white. I like it because it just makes that embossing pop out. If you can, I'm going to bring it up a little bit just so you can see it. So then just take and squeeze a little bit of the water out so that it takes all of the color off of the end of your brush. And then you can move on to another color. You can come in with some of the Old Olive for the leaves. And I do go in the center just to give it the darker in the center, and then just bring your color out to the edges. You don't have to color the whole leaf. If you notice on mine, I didn't color. It just is like a wash And it just depends on what you like. You want to just, so give it a hint of color, whatever you want. Yeah, it's your card. Once you get it, it's yours to do with whatever you want. And you just keep coloring. I love this terracotta tile. I think it is a beautiful color. It's one of the in colors that we have one more year with. So try to get as much out of it as possible. And with the Ornate Garden, you can do that because the designer series paper has a lot of that color in it. So just figure out where you want your colors to be. And a lot of it, if you notice, you don't have to color it because it's covered up by the label, but it is fun to just color it and know that your colors are under there. If you want to use it a different way, then, you know, if you don't want the label across the top of it, you don't have to. Like I said, it's your card. When you get it, it's yours to play with and make it your own. And I would like to see your cards after you get them done. It's always interesting to see how people use their supplies, and always is different. Every time you do a card, it's different. That's what I like about Stampin' Up. They're not like mass produced. Never the look I'm going for. I want them to be unique and have some personality. So I think you get the idea of how to color this. I just wanted to give you a general idea of how to clean your brush in between, how to change the color. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to color it all. I'm sure you get the idea. You can see from this one how it turned out. This one's really light. I thought maybe I might color this one a little bit darker. And I'll post when I'm finished with it. But what you want to do, I'm going to put my cap on this, and I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to get the inks out of the way just because I know how I am. I like to stick my fingers in things. So this is our card. We're going to put this right here. So bring your pieces in. I'm going to show you how to put this together real quick. So you have your card base, and you have your two pieces of designer series paper. So I start with the bigger, the 2-inch piece, and I just put, with this glue, you don't need a whole lot, and that's what takes the hardest to get used to, is not using a lot, because it really does stick down really nicely. So you just want to bring this to the edges of the card. I always bring it up just so I can see if I'm hanging off the side or anything. Not. So just give it a little press and bring in your 1-inch piece. You want to give it some glue as well. Then you want to bring it over to the other side. Bring it to the edge. If you want a little bit of white revealed, that's totally up to you. Give it a little bit of extra, makes that pop a little more, I think. So whatever you like. Then you want to take your art piece, and what I did with mine is I take this and I bring just some glue on here so I can see where it's going to land. Want to make sure you have it the right side up, and then you just, how much of the gold you want to reveal is totally up to you. I like to make sure that you have a little bit of it. So I think that looks nice, but also I don't want to cover up too much of this. So that's why I tried to cut this piece like at 3 1/8, and it did tip the ends off a little bit, but I thought it was totally fine because I want to see more of the designer series paper. So then you just, when you have it where you want it, just add some more glue to this. like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot. It will hold it down for you. So see where you want it to land. And then just press it down. And you come back in with, this is your rectangle, your frame that comes with the Ornate Garden. And you just want to, I almost forgot my ribbon. You do want to put the ribbon down. So I just give it a fold like that. Then you can bring it in on this piece. So you want it to show on either side, and you want as much of the ribbon to show as possible. So just lay that down and then just put some more glue right on top of that. So I want it this way. So I'm going to lay it down so that I see where I want the ribbon to be. I want this over as much as possible, so I can see as much of the flowers as I possibly can. And then just play with your ribbon a little bit until you get it to where you want it to be, because I don't want it to cover up my flowers. So just pull that and then just press it down. You have a little bit of time to play with your ribbon, because this kind of glue gives you a little bit of leeway. It doesn't dry and stick down instantly. So then you just want to come in, and if you notice with the stitched frames, like with the rectangle, this is the front. You can tell because the stitching is deeper. If you turn it over this side, it's not as pretty. You don't want to glue this side down. You want to look at it, and this is your stitched side. You want the pretty side up. So give it a little bit of glue. And you can stamp this before you put it down if you want, but it'll work just fine. And this way, you can leave it like this until you're ready, because you don't know if you want it for a birthday or thinking of you. But not so hard, right? I think it's so pretty. So you really don't have to color it all if you don't want to. But I think it's a beautiful card. Tell me what you think. If you need any help, feel free to reach out. And I also want to tell you that your envelope will have the dry embossing from the Ornate Garden Suite. That's the embossing folder that's included. So if you need anything, feel free to give me a call or send me a text, email, whatever works for you. Talk to you later. Bye.